succulents and plant lovers. I'm Lynn and welcome to Desert Plants of Avalon, and today I've got something a little bit different for you. I am out in nature in a lovely woodland, and the reason for that is I'm going to be collecting some natural river brook water for my air plants. So in between giving them the rainwater, I also like to give them natural river brook water that is nice and clean. So beautiful late winter, early-ish spring day today. So I thought I'd come along and take you all here, show you how I collect my river water for my air plants. And also at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how I water my air plants as well. I'm often being asked, Lynn, I have air plants, but I can't give them rainwater. I live in an apartment, or I live in a very dry climate. We don't get much rain. Well, here in Ireland, we have loads of rain. I never have to worry about that. But for those of you who can't collect natural rainwater, then, you know, it's so good to know that air plants do really well with river water, brook water, and well water as well. Excuse the pun. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I collect mine, and then show you once I'm back home again, how I give my air plants a thorough watering and how often I do it. The water jug through the funnel, collecting all of that amazing energised water. As I say, well water, river water, brook water, and rainwater is always the best to give your air plant tillandsias fresh, energised, natural water. When I'm out and about in nature as well, and with these lovely natural streams, then I always like to have a look at the rocks, because sometimes you can find fossils. And this particular area, there's been quite a few dinosaur fossils that have been found here. 190 million years old. Incredible. And I often spend hours looking through these rocks here, and sometimes you'll find some ammonites and things like that. I'm actually a big fan of crystals, rocks and fossils anyway, so I can't resist looking. It's just something so beautiful about the sound of the running water. And, oh, heaven. Now look at that, guys, 10 litres of beautiful fresh river brook water. Just have to show you this, guys. This is some awesome fungi. They're called bowl fungi, bowl fungus, and have an amazing, lovely bright reddy, almost sort of orangey, bright orangey red colour to them. Fungi are just incredible. Look at that. And they grow on wood. Absolutely amazing. There's some more as well up here. Guys, what's incredible is that here we're just taking a bit of a sit down, and this is a wall of ferns. Absolutely beautiful. All ferns. It's just gorgeous. Just look at that. Hear the water in the background. It's just so good to come out and about in nature regularly, and nature is getting more and more rare, sadly, because the more people that are on this planet, the more that land is being taken up for houses and things like that, building work. Oh, it breaks my heart, because nature like this it's a necessity. Nature is our food, because we need it for our mental health. So coming out in nature, having all this beautiful nature, surrounded by it, you know, we don't want it all taken away. It's a necessity. Wow, just gorgeous. Now here I am back home, ready to water the tillandsia air plants, and these are all of my air plant collection here in my bathroom window. And I've got many different types, lots of different varieties. I've got some here up on the moss pole that I love to have them all hanging on. loads of different ones, and a lot of them come into sort of lovely flower as well in the summertime. All different sizes. This one has lovely scented, lovely lilac flowers, and my lovely big Xerographica here, that's a beauty as well, and my big Spanish moss, and my Streptophylla, Tillandsia Streptophylla as well there. All stunners, quite a few. Also here on my other bromeliad, I put them all hanging about, and also some more up here. So a mixture of many different types, as you can see. It's actually dark now, and that's why it's dark, but hopefully you can see okay with the camera all of the different types. And also on there as well, I've also got mixture with my bromeliads as well on with all the air plants here. So here we go, putting this water then into here, and I'll show you then what I do. Now what I like to do with the air plants, there's different ways of watering them. Some people like to submerge them into a bucket of water, let them soak for about half an hour, then shake them off and put them back up again. And they could do that usually once every couple of weeks. But it's too much hassle for me to do that with all of mine on here. So every every other day, depending on the time of year, I will come in here then and give all these a really, really good thorough spray. I'm going to show you how I do them. So it's winter at the moment now. Well, almost coming into the spring. And because I have the heating on in the house a lot during the winter time, these actually dry out more in the winter than they do in the summer. So I will water these then sort of every other day, give them a good spray until drip off, which I'm going to show you here. In the summertime, I'll often have the window open and they don't dry out as much, even when it's sunny. So I would probably water them about once. If it's very sunny and warm, then twice a week, but once a week. So when it comes to watering them, it really does depend on how dry the air is. I'm in Ireland, and the air humidity is always quite high. However, as I mentioned, during the winter when the heating is on, the air is a lot drier, and the air can be about 50% humidity in this bathroom. So I have to increase it by giving them a good spray and thorough watering every other day. But in the summer when I don't have the heating on, even though it's warmer temperatures and you've got the sun, the humidity is still higher in here, even with when I have the window open. That's to be once a week, twice a week at the most. So it does depend really. I can always tell when air plants do really need a water when they're dehydrated, because these Streptophyllas, for example, here go extremely curly, as you can see, when they need watering. When they're thoroughly watered, they straighten out a lot more. And you can often tell with a lot of them, they'll tend to sort of go a little bit curly as well. And when I keep it up with the watering, they tend to go a little bit more straighter. It can depend on the type of air plant you've got. And by the way, guys, before I show you the actual watering method here, I've got quite a lot of videos I've made on caring for air plants, including how I fertilise my air plants, because from spring and summer I'll also start to fertilise them as well with a special air plant fertiliser that you can also use on ferns and other types of epiphytic cacti as well, and succulents. But that is another video as well that I've done, and as well as quite a few others. So I'll link all of them videos up above. So then, guys, I like to use one of these little hose lock sprays, and these are really good because you can sort of alter the little filter. You can have it either coming out as a mist or coming out as a more of a soaking jet spray. Give it a good old pump. Giving it all a good pump. I just noticed, guys, a bud is forming on there, look. As I mentioned, these start to come into flower in the spring and summer, beautiful colourful flowers. And as I mentioned, also there's videos up above of Tillandsia care, and also them all coming into, when they're in flower, you'll see how beautifully colourful the flowers are. And very excited to see that one. So then what I do then, I start at the top. In this case, I'm going to start on this one. And you'll see just how much I spray them. Some people just mist their air plants but misting isn't enough because they do need to be thoroughly watered. The air plants are incredible because they don't need any soil or pots or the usual things. They don't have roots. People might think that they have roots because they have these at the top here. These are actually they're sort of classed as aerial roots. It's what they use to hang on in natural environments because they're epiphytes. So they produce all these little wacky sort of aerial roots there purely to hang on to their nearby vegetation. So I thoroughly spray them to before drip off, and I'll often then come back making sure that it's all completely watered. With air plants as well, you can see when they've been thoroughly wetted because they're little pale trichomes, they call them, you see. The trichomes are these little scales here, which you can see that whiteness there. These are called trichomes, and this is where they absorb their water and their nutrients from. Air plants, you see, take the moisture from the air, and also in the natural habitats from the rain as well, and they also take in nutrients from the air into their little trichomes here, which is the lovely little scales, the lovely whitey scales. So you want to make sure it's thoroughly watered. And I turn this round, I've got this on this moss pole. Moss poles are a great way to display air plants. Some of them, like the Zerigophica, for example, can take a lot more drier air because it's likes more that arid air than some of the Tillandsias. They all sort of vary in their needs, but I just keep all mine together and they seem to do okay. Make sure we do underneath as well. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. I find them amazing. And they're such easygoing plants as well. I think the biggest problem if you live in a very dry environment, then you do need to give them a lot of humidity and moisture, and you may need to give them more of a soaking regularly. So this is all I do here. Also spray my bromeliads as well because they're in the same group. And you can see how their little silver trichome scales. They're going to love this. This is how they take up their water here. Thoroughly soak. I give them a good soak in here with the water spray till drip off. And I've had these Tillandsias now absolutely years. Probably coming to the 8th year. And they seem to do really well for me here. Again, they're pretty easy to grow. They do like to have bright light, but they don't need to have direct sun, as long as they've got light. There we go. Give them all a good water. So just as it starts to drip off. And that's it. That's really all you have to do. Every other day. This one I will take out then to give it a spray to make sure all the underneath of it is covered. And pop it in. And I spray all this Tillandsia here. Bromeliads. And that's it. Bathrooms are perfect places to have air plants, because they also love the humidity from the bath and shower as well. And you have these amazing air plants in your collection. Aren't they just incredible, guys? Let me know in the comments down below. And thanks so much for watching. Do leave a comment in the comments down below, even a heart or a smiley face, because every comment really helps the algorithm. Do subscribe if you haven't done already. And I want to wish you all an absolutely fantastic plant-powered day. Whoa, it's raining men.